Hello, and welcome once again to Kurt Cobain's finest modern song written by him, by David Bowie, in fact. We'll edit this later. Anyway, hello, good evening. I know it's one of my favourite tunes. It actually holds a lot of significance to me. Today, I might be, well, I'll be me, but as some of you may know through friend circles and stuff, today is the anniversary of the death of my friend Chris Booth, who I'd known for about 20 years, from the sort of early mid-90s up until he died, obviously. Still know him, but don't get to see him much. But he was a really good guy, funny, laugh at himself, and embrace life in all its ways, shapes, or forms. And it wasn't actually until I was reconnected to him later on that I found out that he was also into the hobby as well, which was a surprise, because we used to do live role play, as where I met him through doing Vampire the Masquerade at various venues around London, Essex, Norfolk, Hatfield, and even sort of Sheffield and Manchester on the odd occasion for the big games. But he was a really great guy. Looked like Freddie Mercury as well, which was obviously always fun. The song always makes you emotional because Metal Gear Solid 5. I haven't done that one, so I don't know it. But it's a song, as you know, Ivy. I have tunes for people and things and times and stuff. That tune actually, first time I sort of assigned it to anything was when I found out that my old classmate, Matt Barham, had died back in 1999. This was about 2001, 2002 when I found out that he'd actually he'd taken his own life, depression and all that sort of thing. So obviously that song was in my head, and because I related to him. But and so yeah, I play that at these sort of times and stuff. It's not a depressing thing. It's just it just ties it and bonds it, and it helps me sort of pass through the sadness to get to the other side, because you can't dwell on these things. Life is a continuous story of hopefully awesome times and experiences. There's good days, there's bad days, but as long as we get through the bad into the good and stay there as long as we can, because things happen. We go back and forth, and it's all part of life. Don't mean to be this deep and meaningful for a Wednesday night warlord. No warlords here, but I do have a friend with me today. Would you like to introduce yourself, sir? So with me today is this little chap. Some of you may recognise him. This is the original Iracundus. This is who my friend Chris painted for me, because I got incredibly stressed out through wanting it to be amazing, and it was just, at the time in my existence as a hobbyist, it was probably too much of a kit for me at the time. It was my first resin kit as well, so it did sit for a while in a box, and then eventually I did get round to building it, and I started painting it. And because I had such a love affair with these guys from the old AT, they were my favourite Titan, and they still are my favourite Titan. And I wanted to do it justice, and I wasn't doing this justice. I could not, you know when you see pictures of other people's Titans in Ignitum colours and all that, and you go, I want mine to look like that, and you look at what you have done, and it's completely pile of shit. And I'm being generous there. But I messaged Chris. Chris had just started doing commission work, and I messaged him and said, I heard you're doing commissions. And he goes, yes. I said, do you paint big things? And he said, like what? And I sent him a picture of what I'd done with Iracunda so far, which was lots of hazard stripes, red, and metals. And he replied, give it to me now. And he took it away for like a month or two. It was a couple of months. He had it in total because he was doing it here, then, everywhere. And the day he sent me a picture of the inside, so actually let's get a bit of light on this. So when he sent me the picture of that, I was like very emotional, because it was just like more than I ever expected. Like all the little dials and stuff that he'd done in there. It was really, I shed a tear. I'm not going to lie, I did. And yeah, it also done, that was freehand. He did the original sort of fire wasp symbol, all the script that he'd wrote on there. Another there, bit of writing there. He's a bit battered and bruised, bless him. He's been through a lot. He's had problems where weapons have fallen off, stuff. But he's done quite well for himself, to be fair. So he's come a long way. And I thought also, because I'm not going to be painting Iracundus. I can't paint Iracundus. He's a shrine. So he's staying like that. But I did bring this little lady in with us. This is a Tacit Venatrix. In the lower Gothic, it's known as Silent Huntress. And yeah, I'm just going to sort of do a little bit here and there, just touching up on some of the damage that you incur when transporting these bloody things, because they do get knocked about. In the heat of battle, they get a good twatting every now and again. Sorry, just move that around. And in other situations too. But yes, anyway, how is everybody? I'm sorry I just rambled on for a few minutes there, stuff, but just to give you some context to my day and everything that's been going on. So if I am being a little bit, I say weird, but it's just not myself, that's why. So I also brought in, as another thing that I learned from another friend of mine, Nigel. Just have a little whiskey. I like to mix it with ice because I'm a Philistine. I've been told from a very reputable person from Scotland, you put water in it, sort of thing, but obviously ice is frozen water. But yes, how is everybody? I hope that you're all right. I hope that you are hobbying tonight with us, because that is the whole point of this, is to hang out. I've got somebody to talk to, you've got somebody to talk to. We just chill and have an all right time of things. I just realised I haven't shared this in certain places where I should be sharing it. So I'm just doing that whilst talking, really. That was a beautiful opener and tribute. Thank you. It's been getting very little done hobby-wise, but I'm going to do some today. Ha ha! Excellent! Glad to hear it, because I know how much you, you told me before, how much you like these little hobby hangouts, just so you can, you know, get hobby done, because you always seem very productive, and that's what you've said. You've always done quite a lot whilst on these streams, so I'm happy to be obliging in that situation, just by hanging out, conversing, and everything, because you know life is short. See, I'm going back again. So let's try that in there. I'm also very curious how Vampire Masquerade works. I've always wondered about it. All right. So there's two forms with Vampire Masquerade. So you've got the tabletop, sit around the table, dice and paper side of things. Trying to figure out which camp, because I'm looking over here all the time. I don't know why I'm looking over here. I'm looking up there. But you've also got the live element as well. So where people, we would basically, in London, because I used to go between London and Essex. So Essex, we had veritable sites to use. So when I first sort of moved out to Essex and got involved in the vampire side of things, they were using Wat Tyler National Park, Wat Tyler Park, which is Pitsea Hall Park down here, doing like overnights. So weekends you go there, run around the woods, going and attacking people. But as it evolved, they sort of hired out not health centres, sports centres, or recreation centres, pubs, or function rooms above pubs. A college in Grays, Palmer's College in Grays, we used to hire out. So we had the use of all the grounds, so all the sort of classrooms, halls, dark kitchen, canteens, the outside areas where they had like an outside amphitheatre, which was very good and interesting. But we also eventually had use of Coal House Fort, which is a Napoleonic fortification near Tilbury. Well, it's East Tilbury. It's based. There's a park around that as well, and within it was like it was a fort. So you had like the battlement areas. You had all the sort of catacombs underneath where people can run around and stuff like that and do stuff. So we'd obviously in Vampire, you dress up as a vampire, or what you'll think is a vampire, because they all have their characteristics. So you had different clans, basically, ranging from the Von True, who are basically like royalty. That's their influence. That's their zone. The royal families of Europe and beyond were basically. That's where the Von True would hang around. Toreador were based on like artists, poets, storytellers, musicians, actors, and all that sort of stuff. Nosferatu, they lived in the sewers because they were. If you was a Nosferatu, there was a curse within their bloodline, and you'd be horribly disfigured and mutated, like Nosferatu. So they were like information gatherers and stuff, and dwelled in the shadows. You had the Bruja, who were basically rebels, anarchs, freedom fighters and stuff. Gangrel, who were sort of wild men and women. They had very close ties to werewolves, in fact. And Malkavians, who... the enlightened mad, or psychotic mad, or just mad, or crazy as a brush. So they were basically majority of them. There was like 7 main clans. And shut up, you Nosferatu. You would be a Toreador, and there's no way, with your musical background and stuff, or even a Vontru. So yeah, so once you chose your clan, you can make up a character background if you wanted to as well, and then as part of what they had was storyteller teams. So the people that ran it, so I was one of them, we would have like a plot line that was working to, and you could basically, you threw a rough guide into there. You had NPC characters that would play on your behest. So you would say, I want you to do this any which way you can, and other people would interact and stuff. So it was a very social thing, to be fair, but he got you to dress up as your chosen vampire, or clans. I was known to wear leather biker trousers, and a lot of black. A lot of vampires wore black. Vontru was like suits and very regal looking. Oh yeah, there was Tremere as well. They were like blood wizards, but again, they were very well dressed sort of thing. You trying to think of examples of what they would do, but it was fun, especially like the venues, because not only did we have the forts, so we had this Napoleonic fort, Coalhouse Fort, which you can look up on Google and stuff, which is really impressive. We also used to use the secret nuclear bunker in Kelvedon Hatch, which was a 3-story subterranean HQ grade regional bunker from the Cold War, and we would run around it pretending to be vampires and werewolves and occasionally fairies, because that started happening, or changeling. Cheers, Chris. So obviously you have your own agendas for your character. If you want to get sort of like power, wealth, renown, position as well, because within the society there is a group called the Camarilla, which are out of vampires, they're the good ones, because they're trying to. The masquerade is basically hiding in plain sight, sort of thing, and not giving away the fact that they are vampires. There is another counter group called the Sabbat, and they simply don't give a fuck. They're the ones that you'd see on TV going, oh yeah, this man claimed to be a vampire. He goes around and eats 7 people and stuff like that. That's them. They really don't give a shit. Humans are there to be used and abused and whatever. Whereas the Camarilla will basically, herd a group of followers and stuff that they can drink from, because they all need blood. But when you come to sort of having interactions where you are conflicting against somebody else, sort of thing, that's when your character comes into things. So you have your character sheet with you, and basically it's all done with rock, paper, scissors. So, if you say, I'm going to hit you with my very powerful aggravating damage clause because I'm using my powers, you had like a blood pool, and every time you use certain things, you have to use the blood. So you've got to be careful not to lose blood, because then you'd fall into torpor. You're basically like, oh, I've got a blood, and collapse. So you had to sort of do that sort of thing. But you'd use your powers, which is like, you might have super speed, which allowed you to have more actions for the same amount of actions as somebody else. So someone who hasn't got celerity would only have 1 action, you would have 2, sort of thing, and you would be going first because you're faster. If you had potence, you'd be stronger than them, so you'd be doing more damage if you connected. And so there's that sort of. So there was lots of fighting going on, but then there was also the social powers as well. There was an infamous incident at a game in Finchley that I was part of, where I was playing a character which was an Assamite, who were a Middle Eastern assassins, basically. And there was about 13 of us there, which is the biggest amount of us Assamites. You don't normally see them, but there was 13 people playing them at this game, and we get hired to take out this high-ranking Toreador elder character, and one of their powers they had was presence, and if you get to a high level, you have this thing called majesty, and which means if he does his majesty, he has to put his thumb up like that to show that I've got majesty, or he had a name badge say majesty, because it's always on. And we had to challenge him to break his majesty because he's so like awe-inspiring. So imagine like the emperor. Emperor walks into a room and you just go, ah! If you wanted to attack him, you would have to somehow beat his aura of awesomeness, and that's what majesty was. And so you had to do like rock, paper, scissors. So 13 tests, he basically won about 11. The 2 that he did lose, he won about 9 straight out the bat, you know. But then the other couple that he did lose, he managed to he had like retests, so he could like spend the blood or something like that to retest it, and then won. And yeah, and we couldn't hit him because until majesty goes down, we can't physically attack him. So so 13 of us failed miserably against this dude, and he got very upset because he's like, why am I being attacked by all these people? Ah. And he ran off, and we never saw him again, funny enough. But yeah, it was fun, it was cool. I made lots of friends from pretending to be a vampire. Yeah, very pretentious at times. But some great venues around London, mostly pubs. Norwich University played in Hertford House, I think it was called, or something. That was out in Hatfield, or Hatfield House. I can't remember. But yeah, again, I've just gone spieling off on Vampire. I have a second hobby that takes up vast amounts of time, and about once a year I fall back into it. So that's been taking me away from painting a bit. That's cool to see. That's what hobbies are. You know, sometimes you need to have a break from it all, sort of thing. So the other sort of live role play that's about which you'd probably be interested in because you get to hit people is LARP, live action role play, where you go around with replica swords and replica bows and bow staves and axes and shields, and then you're wearing chainmail or leather armor and all that sort of shit. And again, you're playing a character. You could be human, you could be fairies, you could be orcs, you could be all sorts. Depends on the system that you're playing. And there's a lot of shit that goes down at these sort of events as well, which they are fun. And the term twatting someone is quite acceptable because you can go around and twat the fuck out of people, which I took great joy in. Not trying to hurt people, but you know, when we do the next Titan walk, I'll bring my my only remaining sword with me. It's very old. It's very it's been used. It's not my best sword. I gave that to a friend of mine who now lives up in Edinburgh, and I don't know if he's still got it. He might have got rid of it or whatever. It was a katana that I had made up, and I named it Saber Wolf, which I actually wrote along the blade because I was, again, pretentious. Or if you to quote sort of Arya Stark and the Hound, a lot of people name their swords. Yeah, a lot of cunts. Twatting back. But yeah, like there was one big event we used to go to in Derby called it was Loco Park, called The Gathering, and you would have several thousand people there over the bank holiday weekend in August, over 4 days. First 3 days are having encounters, doing quests, engaging in other, you know, duplicitous schemes, and just starting stuff off yourself. And then on the Monday, it was a massive battle where all the factions were split into two, and you had at it basically. And with that, it was fantasy, so you had elves, dark elves, all sorts of thing, like everything. Hey MZ, hello. See you sneaking now. I'm fine, thank you very much. As I said, it's sorry, just picking off a bit of hair there from the little fella. He's sitting here with me at the moment, and say hello. Can he say hello? I don't think he can say hello because I think he's turned himself off because it's been so long. So is it working? What's happened? Ah, right, yeah, I know why. Because I turned the volume down. There you go. Ira Kundus is with me tonight, co-hosting. It says, put him around a bit. Oh, that's a thing, you're not going to be able to see him. So, oh, playing music now. Yes. You can't see him. But yeah, it's sorry. Yeah, it's today's the anniversary of my friend Chris Booth's death, and I'm just having a great time. Yeah, it's basically that's all I used with him. So this is how he became famous. Was back in 2015. There was Horus Heresy Weekender, and this guy was there with some knights, and that's what he did most. All right, I'm sorry I interrupted you there, but that's what he did, because myself, that was moving on to other music, sorry. I've lost. That's better, he says. So, yeah, so at this event, in the Horus Heresy Weekend, I was meant to meet up with Paul Rudge, because me and him were having a escalation in knights, and I'd arranged with him to meet him with his knights and my knights and my friend Scott's knights, because me and Scott had done House Tyrannus, he had House Marcabius, and we said about meeting up and putting them out for photos and stuff like that, as I often do. And we were there on a Saturday, we was all enjoying all the seminars and that sort of thing. And so I thought, oh, we'll catch up with him on Sunday and we'll do this photo shoot. Not realising that Rudgy wasn't going to be there on a Sunday. So there was no Rudgy, so I thought, oh, bollocks. And this is where I met Benjamin Greaves, because I asked a question in one of the seminars about if they were going to get any sort of pads for Imperial Knights apart from House Terrin, which at the time they said, oh yeah, we'll do other houses. Never did. So we done that and met Ben. I told Ben of the cunning plan I was planning to do, and he said, oh, well, I've got my knights with me as well. So we're okay, we'll do that. And so Sunday morning, Rudgy's not around. Spoke with Andy Hoare, and he said, "Well, why don't you bring all your stuff into the gaming room, the blood games as they called it, room, and set them up and all that." So we did. We'd done that, and I set up Iracundus along with all my Mechanicum stuff that I had, and so there you go. Tony knows. Chris Booth was a legend, and he is a legend, and this is, you know, to me, obviously, I know it's his, and I often say, like, when people say, "Oh, how did you paint it?" and I always go, "I didn't paint this. This is Chris Booth," and I always mention Chris Booth painted this because he painted it. He gets the credit. Well, he made it good. From what I painted, he made it awesome. I made it like a fucking nightmare. It was like, and that's why I was getting stressed out about it, because I can see it. It's there. And it's not how I wanted it to be or imagined. And he saved my life. There you go. And he created this little beauty. So got those. So that's how you know if it's Iracundus. He has 32 on the top, because that's his number. He's done a lot of you know, everything by hand on there. He's done such an amazing job with it. But as I was saying, like with the Blood Games room, we're all set up. All our knights are out. We've got all these, you know, Phalax and Myrmidons and, you know, Krios tank and other bits and pieces all going across this board. It was a Forge World gaming table, so it was like the Mechanicum type one they had in the early days, and him at the back with his speaker working, and people were coming over and looking at this beautiful creation of Chris's, and you know, they're looking at, "Oh, that's an amazing paint job you've got there," and then I'd do that. And their faces would just light up again. That's doing that. That was like so cool. And what I could also do, he says, looking for it, is so using this on my phone, I could make little soundies and stuff and make it even more awesome with grenades. Apparently that's an Uzi, but it doesn't sound like an Uzi. So, you know, it all added to the experience, and I don't have to go pew pew pew. I can just do that, amongst other things like. Hey, baby, you looking hot tonight? Monster kill. And various other things. Unfortunately, I found out tonight that where I used to use one of my sound, my text sounds or whatever, which was the World's war horn, I can't, for some reason, they don't translate over now. Whereas before, I'd press it on there, comes through. Music still plays on it, which is all cool. But yeah, I can't do that now. So where I've been doing the war horn, I've been going onto YouTube and actually activating the one of the videos there, which has all the sounds of it. Yeah, twatting bat. Yeah, no, it was it was a tribute to hobbyists, because he was such a helpful, giving person, always like there to assist if you needed help with a project. Like, you know, it would be hands on, you know, advise you and give you tips and all that sort of stuff. I went round to his house a few times and actually just sat in his front room, which is really weird because his front room, like one part of it was like where all his hobby stuff is, and then this table, like dining table, was full of stuff, and like his wife and kids were sitting around watching telly and all that. So we're sitting back to back as I'm working on what I can't even remember what I was fucking working. I think I was trying to do like an ultramarine scheme, and this is before I'd done ultramarines. And he was sitting there working on a storm hammer or something, and every time I looked around there, he'd done something else, and it just looked so fucking, because he's very realistic looking as well. He just done so much in that time, and I was just like, faffing about after time sort of thing. So the couple of hours I spent with him hobbying, it was just like, oh, okay, you've done quite a lot. I've done fuck all. But yeah, it's yeah. But yeah, as I said, like he used to run hobby clubs and other sort of things, and he was really quite a big guy. Big heart, big soul. It was just just awesome bloke. So again, with the last bit of this whiskey, Chris, I'm not going to down that. I think I mentioned this before when I was at Aaron's party a couple of weeks ago. At about 2 a.m. on Saturday morning, me and a few friends who had been hanging out and chilling and stuff, chatting, found a wooden case, and within it was a bottle of whiskey, bourbon, called Blood Oath, and it was like, hey, let's all make a blood oath. Yeah, but we'll just drink the whiskey, we'll shot the whiskey, and we'll make an oath to each other for friendship and all that sort of stuff. So we poured it all out, 6 of us, these shots. Whacked it back, as you do when you're shooting whiskey. And yeah, it was like, nice warm feeling. And it's like, oh yeah, it's like that bonding moment between the 6 of us. And about a week after I come back, I thought, well, let's have a look at that Blood Oath, and found the little wooden box it came in, and oh yeah, that's the stuff. It was £150 a bottle, and I was shit myself because it wasn't ours. I don't know whose it was. It was just there, and to be fair, all the alcohol was all there for everyone to help themselves to. It was there, so yeah, I don't regret it. Makes for an interesting story. Yes, again, just rabbiting on for like 38 minutes. I've just been going like mental. What was I doing? Yeah, and as I said, I'm going to be doing some little touching ups on these little dudes. Mr. Iracundus is keeping an eye on procedures, as always. But sometimes it's just, you really can't appreciate something. Like, I know, like a couple of you, like, obviously are really awesome painters. You're all awesome painters, but like when we go to like these events and you see like some real, Richard Gray, for example, I'm going to throw in there, or Emma Durant, who occasionally pops in here. She's not here, so she probably won't mind me talking about her. When you see their work in the flesh, and you see how much details into it, the effort that they put into it, it's just amazing. It is such a beautiful sort of model anyway that they've painted up, but it's just their little signatures, their little like flicks of brushes. You can see it all there, and it is like like, I'm not comparing it to like Grand Masters, but you can tell certain people's styles, and we all know this. Everyone has their own style, so, and you can see that, and you can sort of you can imagine the time and like the sort of the effort that they've put into these little projects for us to like go and gawk at places like Salute or Warhammer World. Um, like you can tell a Richard Gray model from a Louise Sugden model. That's pretty easy. Um, like oh bloody hell, Henry from um, oh the oh crap, can't remember his surname. Henry, um, Philip of Tozer. He's been known to do the odd brush, um, but obviously with Titans, that's we all know our own Titans. Obviously, he's not. He is my own, but he's not my own scheme. Um, but we all know how we paint our things, and we can all identify these sort of little flourishes that we have, and that's half the fun of like colour paint. Thank you, Ivy. But you can tell those sort of different artists. Henry Steele, because he done the Legio Krytos War Master thing with all the chains hanging off of it. It looked absolutely fucking awesome. But yeah, it's no. I say he only pops in every now and again. I'm just gonna annoy him. He says, "Where is?" Unless he's already here, lurking. That's weird. Maybe if I just use the search function, that'll be easier. I sent him a message. Everyone poke Phil. I just messaged him. Whether or not he's going to answer it, who knows? He's a lovable little rogue, that boy. But again, he's like Engine Phil, Filipito, or Engine Philip, is another one of those guys that's really great, helpful. Always sort of chipping in to help out and advise. So he's a credit. It's a credit to the hobby, even though he doesn't feel like it half the time. That's weird. I just heard a random noise. Oh, that might be me. Oh, yeah, sorry. You get random noises when you go to places, and it's coming out of this little fella. Actually, yeah, it was on a side note. Also, not had a great start to my week hobby wise. Took my son back to Lincoln on Monday. Had yesterday off, and did a total sum of nothing. Now working on a Leviathan, but lost one of the tiny bits which goes inside the lower leg section, and I'm searching with a torch. Oh Jesus! Yeah, no, I hate that. Yesterday I was trying to stick some venom grenades onto Dynat, Amaryllis Dynat. That was kept on dropping the little bastards, which is never fun because you go, where the hell are you? Yeah. Oof, damn it. Tony said Phil is like the grumpy granddad of Warhammer, but will help anyone. No, well, that's the thing. We adopted Philip and we actually call him Hades because he is a miserable sod and he lives in the underworld. So, but yeah, you know, I'm a bit grumpy at times. I'm sure we're all a bit grumpy. He has perfected it as a skill, and I can say that because I say it to him all the time I see him. You grumpy sod. But yeah, he's you know, he's not recognised in a lot of respects for what he does do. Like I say, he's become quite intricate with the Titans Owners Club, and he's also part of Battle Bunnies now, along with Rob, producing content of renown and painting stuff like Rob for that vicious work tyrant. In fact, that is Matt. I did actually have something else I was going to say then, but like always, I just lose it. Totally lose it. Still no reply from the Ancient Philip. He's out there somewhere hunting beavers, no doubt. But yes, trying to think of what I've done. That's it. Bring forth my brushes. Yay! Rob is the hero. He's found his bits. Sound a bit weird, but still. He has them in hand. That also sounds weird. Oh, yeah, that's a thought. Because I was in such a rush and panic. I wouldn't say panic, but hurrying around when I was getting home earlier on. Because it has been a busy old day at the old workplace, and not boomer shaker. Always sounds like fun. And I've actually got a little bucket of ice here with my beer, so it's nice and cold. I wish I had this idea of using a bucket of beer. A bucket of beer? No, a bucket of ice with my beer a long time ago when it was fucking hot. Fantabulous. All right. So yeah, I'm actually painting stuff. Monday was fun though. In Lincoln, it was Steam Fest. Loads of people dressed in. That would have been cool. So that's the thing. I do love a bit of steampunk. I'm going to just move the camera into position. And yeah, I would love to have gone to one of those sort of things. There was actually a steampunk thing on Facebook I was a member of, called Great Kent Spectations. So it's based in Kent, obviously, by a name like that. This is not going well. And yeah, I would really like to have done something like that at some stage. I did buy. Filipito has answered. He'll be in a few minutes. Hoping to bash out another raptor today if all goes well. Be right back, 10 minutes. Cool. We'll be here. a different brush. Oh wow, that would have been awesome. So, funnily enough, I was at as I mentioned last week, I was going to a friend's wedding on Friday, and it was people my friend Christy, who I used to live with in Barking, um, and it was the venue was just it was really nice. It was like an old manor house, which is now a hotel, um, and the 80 acres of land around it. It had one of those long fucking. Well, I don't know if there was any fucking going on, but fucking long driveways up to is it East Hampstead Hall, I believe it was called, and yeah, no, it was a lovely, lovely venue. I ended up sort of being a backup best man type thing because his brother Jamie was going to be obviously the best man, but I was there early, so I was basically just like, "Have you got this? Have you got that? Have you doing this? Have you doing that? Have you got your keys to your room? You haven't got your keys. Okay, we better go get some keys because apparently he'd already lost or left." Several keys inside the room already prior to my arrival, and yeah, it was basically just keeping him going, making sure he was all right, really. But yeah, it was a fantastic day. Lots of new friends made, and yeah, I think it was like, it really was a really nice event. I must post some pictures up on the old Book of Face. They did ask that we didn't post them straight away because they didn't want them getting out straight away and stuff like that. So that's why I haven't posted anything up, really. Then again, I've been a bit busy this week because not only did weddings, but there's been 18th birthdays, and I'm back to work today, which was very busy. So yeah, busy all round, really. Ross. A lot of scrapes and stuff. Because obviously we've got the big walk for the Titans Owners Club coming up at the end of, well, not the end, it was November time. So it's all this preparation is for that day, once it cometh, for the Titans to walk once again and play havoc, and obviously me be shot at lots because people like to kill me or try to. lights. So with all sort of Titan projects, it takes a lot longer to do than normal models because of obviously the size of the bloody things. The it's all the little like details and stuff, and I obviously have overlooked a lot in the time of painting these bloody things. And yes, they do need touching up every now and again to make them all a little bit more awesome. Pardon me. Even though you like using varnishes and whatever else is to hand to try and protect your models, sometimes just the sheer weight of them and position, sudden move whilst in transit, and they twat each other. So it's a constant sort of maintenance side of things to being a Titan owner. And plus you want it to look its best for when you go out and kick the shit out of other people. Because that's what this is all about. Letting your little dudes go rampant across battlefields in strange new places and blow the snot out of others. Because, to be honest, you don't often get to play even in Heresy. You don't get to play with the big guys that often, and it's nice having the big guys because they're really bloody awesome kits. Be it a Warhound, Reaver, Warbringer, or Warlord, makes such a fun, interesting day of obliteration. Running around, blowing shit up. What's not to like? Want to get some. My go-to for pipes, for example, and cables is Cobblers Black. Oh, I just like the tone of it. It's not a Baden Black is just too bloody shiny for my liking. So keeping it Let's get all the stuff into place. It just looks so much better in a muted sort of greyish black that Corvus gives you than just that sharp, you know, black. Because it's sort of, you know, it's like it's been like bleached in the sun, if you know what I mean. So gives that feel. Just checking in case if I mention that and he turns up. If you say his name, he shall appear. But yeah, it's like with this Titan, you know, well, so many years have passed since getting Tacit Benetrix. That's 7 or 8 years, I think. That's the beauty of hobby painting. You can always go back to things at a later date. You know, you might have done one particular thing, you look at it one day in a cold light of day and go, you know what, that's not good enough, I want better. And you can go back and do better. I'll just do the little ones first. And I like using the air paints because they are just like they've been watered down, so it makes it easier to control and to spread. They're not too watery. God, how many bloody cables are on this bloody thing? I used to do like cables in like gold and then run Agrax over it, but why would they have exposed cabling? So let's give it some Corvus. Let's get sorted out. So, those of you who are with us tonight, obviously this weekend we see the release of Echoes of Eternity, Book 7 of the Siege of Terror series. And I just thought I thought it was a bit weird. So I got back home wasted and I had to make her some pasta. No, that's legitimate. You got to look after the other half. I hope she's enjoying her pasta and she's all settled down now and chilling. Yeah, I just thought it was very strange that obviously they've got Book 7 being released this Saturday, and then they're showing off that the next book is in 2 parts. You know, it seemed odd to announce another book before the launch of their next book. So it's you know, it was quite really, and obviously the move to have it as a 2-parter as well is quite interesting. But I can actually see, you know, Dan Abnett is a prolific writer of awesomeness, and it doesn't surprise me that it's a 2-parter, really. So much is happening. So yeah, he's done 3 books out of the series, and it's only right that he gets to finish it off as well, because he started this ball rolling all those years ago. But yeah, it was quite interesting to find it out today that it's a 2-parter. And to be fair, I think it probably needed to be. It weren't going to be an easy, straightforward book, to be fair. So it's only right. I think it'll be out not too long after Echoes. Well, that's the thing. Once they show it, well, it's not the same as Forge World. Like when Forge World or the Warhammer community show something, it's normally 3 to 4 months before its release. Now, obviously, with Echoes of Eternity, Aaron is a slow writer, you know, because he spends so much time making sure that what he's bringing out is the best that he can do. He is, you know, and I'm not saying because he's my friend, but he is a really fantastic writer, and it's because he puts a lot of himself into these books. So because he's a fan as well, he wants it to be something that you can all, you know, enjoy, whatever, you know, background or faction that you love, in particular in like 30k, 40k. He wants to do it to his best of ability, and if that means he's got to, you know, miss a few deadlines to get it done, you know, we're not talking like George R. R. Martin levels of like not turning up when you have to. But I can't think of a book that he's done that isn't loved um, in one form or another. You know, like his Black Legion books, although there's only 2 of them so far, and everyone wants the 3rd one, are, you know, epic. His Night Lord trilogy, again, so many people love that series, and so many people fall in love with the characters, same as the Black Legion, same as, you know, what he did with First Heretic and the Word Bearers. He made people like Word Bearers, you know. I'm not just saying that because they're Word Bearers, but maybe not Erebus, because everybody hates Erebus. But, you know, you had that sympathetic character in Lorgar, and Argyle Tal. So many people love Argyle Tal, because he can write characters really, really good. So having them take a little bit more time to produce something that's really, really fantastic to read, is what it's all about. I think people appreciate it more, and it stays in their consciousness more, and you talk about them more. Ah, well done, Phil, getting first. Well done. Salute, sir. You little grumpy sod. Black Library books are amazing. GW seems to have made Abaddon a total cucked. ADB made him what he should be. You know, and that's, you know, down to the writing. And, you know, he goes through his books and he, you know, he makes sure that what he's giving is as best he can do. And, you know, that's all credit to him. You know, there are other writers like Guy who can whip out a book in no time, and, you know, Chris Raitt does a good, you know, a good story write up. But everyone's different. Like you, Graham as well. You know, he's good with, like, I think he does the best sort of Mechanicum type story writing compared to others. You know, whereas it's really hard because, like, I know, like, because again, like with certain authors, they have their sort of allegiances to certain legions and stuff like that, or chapters. So where you've got, like, I won't mention that person because Phil would kick off. So Chris Raitt with a bit of Space Wolves and White Scars, for example. You know, he reinvented White Scars. Aaron, Word Bearers, he made people care about them, and Night Lords, and, you know, Emperor's Spears, and the Grey Knights and stuff. And I'm looking forward to also Blood Angels, because, you know, I'm going to just close the door because it's a bit chilly. Ooh. Aaron loves Blood Angels. That's like his thing, and he's getting to write Blood Angels and the Blood Angel in Sanguinius. So this is, touch wood, going to be fucking awesome. This character gets so much stick as a failure, but they ignore the fact that GW gives the Imperium characters so much plot armor. I did really like Altal and Khan. Well, you say that about Imperium characters, but so do, you know, the traitor characters. As you bear in mind, like, up until very recently, a lot of the sort of like traitor characters were all still there. It was, I think, the first, and it wasn't even a main character. The first real sort of like traitor character to get offed was Luke Sider in the book Nemesis that Jim Swallow wrote, which was the Assassins. So you know, a lot of those sort of like characters from the early sort of books, Eidolon has been killed multiple times. And Fabulous Bill just keeps bringing him back. But you know, like a lot of the characters, it wasn't until really like something like Saturnine where a lot of, you know, characters get twatted. Well, yeah, Lorgar's a douchebag at the end of the day, but he got what he wanted. He got the Imperium to worship the Emperor as a god, and he got to worship gods in his own right. I know when speaking with Graham, like I asked him once, like, if you could kill one character, who would it be? And he said Marnius Calgar, because nobody would be expecting it, which is a fair point. What spoilers did I do? Like lots of people getting. Yeah, but I didn't name anyone. Lots of people die in it. You just don't know who. It wasn't Luke Sider. He didn't die in it. You wait to get Warhawk. But no, with what happens in Saturnine, you know, a lot of the stuff goes back way back into the heresy, like the early days of the heresy. You know, but there's been so many great characters throughout the book series. You know, little dudes that have turned up and not lasted long. But I think everybody who has read the heresy, and not just like one or two books, has read a few books, you normally find there's one or two characters that you take with you throughout the rest of the journey, really, where you have like characters. I can't pronounce his name. Probably it was Avada, who is the I think it's Avada, Thousand Sons dude that the Khan finds on Prospero in, was it Scars? I think it was Scars. Yeah, it was Scars. Yeah. And then, like, you know, he was only in like a few. It was in one short story, and then he was in Scars and Path of Heaven, and he's shown up, I think, in maybe one other. Yeah, he's mentioned one other book, which I think is actually. You don't really see much of him. He's like, you know, he's just like a scene with him. So yeah, he's a lot of great characters with sort of travelled these wild wastes of the heresy. I'm trying to think, like, if there's favourite characters, okay, favourite characters from the heresy don't have to have reasons, but sometimes you just have a character that you just like. So with me, my one of my favourite characters is Romu 31, who was a Skitari protector in Mechanicum. Now, he doesn't do a lot in a lot of respects. He does enough because he's in a few bits and pieces, but he's not like a Horus. He's not like a Primarch. He's not like a captain of the Imperial Fists or Praetorian or whatever. Zephon is pretty fucking cool. He he's a bit different to everything. And Archenland, yes, Rob, Archenland, and don't forget Simeon, Sapien. Sorry, Sapien. You can't forget Sapien. Sapien is like page 33, first paragraph in Master of Mankind. That was it. It took one paragraph about Sapien, and that was it. He's one of my favourite little characters. But Archenland as well. He's got so much more about him. So yeah, a couple more days, and then books shall arrive. Audio books should be found, hopefully, because I still haven't found fucking thing on Audible. Just doing random. Hey Edvin, welcome to being first. Well claimed. It's really annoying. Like I have searched through like upcoming sort of releases, nothing in there. And it's nice to see the pre-orders and going through all of them, trying to find Echoes of Eternity, Siege of Terror Book 7, nothing. And yeah, it's just like, oh, I just want to pre-order something on Audible. I expect like what happened with what's the last one? Warhawk, I think. But I think the same happened there, where it just didn't. It wasn't on pre-order. It just turned up. Mortis happened later on pre-order. Well, it didn't show up at all, and then not until the day of release. So that's what I'm assuming. So whether or not, I don't know. It's frustrating at times. Party time, Edvin. Let's see if we've got a. Don't know if it's going to work because it's not. Yeah. There you go, Edvin. Iracundus is here, joining the hobby hangout tonight because he can.
Summer in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, there's an advert now.
But well within reach.
No, we don't want to go to Abu Dhabi. Thank you very much. Much appreciated, but no. Well, you've turned up, so you get a little hello there. I've only just started doing that, really. He has been growling a lot throughout the evening, from time to time, as is his right. Oh, there's flipping bloody brushes everywhere. How are you anyway, buddy? You alright? What are we up to tonight? Anything exciting? Oh, you no, you didn't get one because I had to hunt you down. What's that? Oh. There you go. Okay. Can't get a word in edgewise with him. It was just saying hello to his favourite Phil. The, let's check it out. Pardon you. Filipito. Boomer Shaker. Kratos is an awesome tank. Love it. Well, love them because I've got two of them. Oh. I've been tidying up, got this. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's a. Hey, Judge, welcome, buddy. Yeah, no, it's yeah, it's not a groovy time when you have to do that sort of thing, Phil. You know, we're all here for you. You still coming? Are you still coming out to play on Saturday? New to MZ. Oh, I'm sorry. I hope both of you have better times of things in the coming weeks and months. Don't need all the bullshit. No worries. That's cool. Are you still doing your little dudes, your direwolf, Judge? What am I looking for? I'm looking for something. Double checker. I think I saw them earlier on, so obviously I like them because they're cool. So I'm using Phalanx Gold as a substitute at the moment for Retributor. Because to be fair, it's not a million miles off what Retributor is. Just a lot thinner, obviously. Well, you shouldn't be eating that sort of shit. The yeah, so it's been an interesting time, amongst other things. So I was an idea of just basically just maybe just gluing this section down, because I don't really see it. Again, it's like the whole thing about, do you paint the insides of your tanks? Unlike Iracundus, I don't have to take the canopy off because there's no need to. I like the like head canopy, because see, just seeing the Moderati and the Princeps sitting in there, it's always pretty cool. Is this a new model? Oh no, that's I'm doing yeah, a bit of touching up basically. Just going through motions and stuff where I decided to sort of give a little bit of TLC to both Iracundus and Tacit Venatrix, because we've got the Titan Walk coming up in November, and it's just like just getting things done and sorted out at the moment, where you want to be able to get your best sort of looking Titan out on the battlefield, really. It's that's the whole thing when it comes down to it, is where you're meeting up with like loads of people, and you're doing all these sort of awesome things with your little guys, your big guys, they're even bigger guys, and going out to battle, and being able to sort of do that and kick the shit out of people whilst looking good whilst doing it. That's the whole point of Titans. I feel, So yeah, it's all fun at the end of the day. But it's one of those things where they get used and abused, and a lot of things happen during transit. So you are going to get a lot of sort of problems where just driving to and from a place is going to cause major problems for you, where you are just mind your own business, driving along, having happy thoughts of Titan deaths, and not being able to sort of keep them safely stowed, because you can pack them as much as you want, but one overzealous turn at a roundabout or a junction is going to cause a bit of scrapage, because no matter how well you pack these things, um, accidents do happen, which is just not the done thing, really. So, what are you going to do in that situation where you've got these sort of things going on? Yeah, it's a bit crazy. So let's get another beer. The ow, ow, seating up. Eat all the grass you want. Accidents happen, as a wise man once. Was that in a film? I didn't just say eat all the grass you want, did I? if I did say that, I apologise. Unless you're a cow or a sheep. Are you going to wait for the Nova preview or catch it later? I'm not able to attend, but I have an agent on Forge World Patrol for Gravitons for me. Nice. Yeah, that was a bit of a left field, wasn't it? It's the same as what happened was it last year with the Volkites? So, because nobody knew about Volkites coming out, and the same with Gravitons. It's like, well, I don't think. I don't know. They didn't. I see. Ooh. It's, that's the thing, is when you're doing these like little. I was doing it the other day. So my memory's just gone to shit. It probably doesn't help that I'm drinking, but um, I can't remember what the fuck I did. I did something, you know, like you did something, you do something. Um, I thought it was because of my accident. But what? But yeah, it's the having you know, like when you somebody says something and you go, oh, I said that's like a line, you know, from a song, and then you just do the follow up line, and then it's just fucking crickets. There's no like, it's just church. It's like, oh, it's very very silent all of a sudden. Sort of. Yeah, that's always fun to do that. Especially if it's like a really popular song, you know, like we're talking like, yeah, I'm trying. I can't even think of a song to think of as an example. It's bugging the shit out of me now. Phil's been augmenting himself. I'm sure he has. You know, he likes an augment, that Phil. Grass. I'll just consider whiskey. Africa. I bless the rains. I got it was like I blame the rains. I bless the rains down in Africa. Yeah, it's just total like brain fuzz now. I just really cannot think of anything. I'm trying to just see if like Google like what song was I thinking of the other day. Um, the that, that is really freaking annoying now. Vengerbus. Queens of Stone Age. What? That's like totally like, what the fuck? Queens of the Stone Age and Vengerbus. Speaking of ornaments, one of my mate's daughters has one of the 3D printed prosthetics. She has the mechanics. Oh, that is awesome. And to be honest, if I ever needed a prosthetic, that's the sort of thing that I would do as well. What's the lyric? Oh, what, we're going to do like random lyrics and you guess the songs? Okay, we can do that, because that seems like a fun thing to do when we've got some whiskey on the go. Right, okay. Accept. I'm just looking at some of these song lyrics and like, what the fuck? Oh, that one's a fucking obvious one. Fucking hell! All right, let's go look at these ones. Okay, all right. 10 rock lyrics. Are we all good with rock? That's what I'm going with. Now, this one, I had no idea until I read it. Right. So I'm not going to sing it. I'm just going to say it, and whoever gets the right answer, wins something awesome. So I'm just going to find. So I think you've got the. Hold on. Sorry, I'm just trying to look up where the answers are. All right, okay, I found the answers. Okay. I got. Right. In the day, we sweat it out on the streets of a runaway American dream. At night, we ride through mansions of glory in suicide machines. Now, that is, to me, is pretty easy. We want the song. Are you all thinking? Are you all struggling to find out? Oh, no, MZ. Thank you for joining us. Thank you. Engine Phil runs in with Born to Run, and he would be correct. When I'm driving in my car and the man comes on the radio, he's telling me more and more about some useless information supposed to fire my imagination. I knew that one. Had it on my tongue, honest. That's the thing. Sometimes you hear it and it's like, what the? Okay, I've got to stay. I need to play this. Okay. I recognise your MCC. What? Who, my MCC? I could try and do it with like he's like, you know, like if he's totally out of it, it's like, hey Keith, man, when I'm driving in my car. Yeah, I can't do this song. When I'm driving in my car and the man comes on the radio, he's telling me more and more about some useless information supposed to fire my imagination. It would be slower, if that helps. I said this is the rock selection, so. Oh, the next two, right? If you can't get these two, then yeah. See, like, yeah. Do we have? Oh, Mac. Yeah, the Stones. Oh, right. Sorry. But yeah, it was. I can get no satisfaction by the Rolling Stones. Right, number 3. Um, Now, some of you might know that I went to a gig recently, start of June, and this band was the band that I went to see. And jealousy, turning saints into the sea, swimming through sick lullabies, choking on your alibis. What's the song? Who's the band? Pardon me. Jealousy, turning saints into the sea, swimming through sick lullabies, choking on your alibis. But this is the price. Destiny is calling me home. Your eagle eyes. Thank you, Mr. Phil, with your Mr. Brightside. Did it help with me singing it? Now, this is some old style rock. Old. But awesome. There must be some kind of way out of here, said the Joker to the thief. If you don't get that one, you're dead to me. Come on. Nope. Yep. No. The previous one, Mac, was Killers. Edwin comes steaming in, large capital letters. Phil followed. Bit of Hendrix. That's right. All along the Watchtower, which incidentally, they used the tune of that in Battlestar Galactica reboot as the sequence that guided them to Earth. Actually, if you don't get this one is a very popular. Oh, bless her. All right, then, sweetie. All right, take care, and I'll speak to you later. Love to you too. Love to Sarah. Sweet dreams. I made it. No, that's not the song. When I wake up in my makeup, it's too early for that dress. Sweet dreams are made of these, or made of cheese. But it's not the song that we're discussing. It is the other song, number 5. When I wake up in my makeup, it's too early for that dress. And Night Night Ivy. I can't believe no one's got it yet. When I wake up in my makeup, it's too early for that dress. Any help? It was written by Kurt Cobain, if that helps any further. Celebrity Skin is the song. Who is the band? Because you Phil stomping away there at the moment with 3 right answers. Hull, indeed. I would go out tonight, but I haven't got a stitch to wear. It's a British band. Lead singer's a dick. Ooh. Next 2 should be easy. Well done, Judge. I would go out tonight, but I haven't got a stitch to wear. Mac 10 Smiths. Yes. But what's the Charming Man? Well done. Number 7. Now, this song I used to have on my Xbox tag. Because in Xbox, you used to be able to do, like, again, similar to like Twitter, where you had like 200 letters or 200 characters. So I used to write this down as it and change the end to my gamer tag. All night long, I dream of the day. When it comes around, then it's taken away. Leaves me with a feeling I feel the most. Feel it come to life when I see your ghost. And I almost done it. And that's the start of the song. Although that's actually like the second verse of the start of the song. The first part of the song, we won't give it away, I don't think, is all my life I've been searching for something. Something never comes, never leads to nothing. Nothing satisfies, and stuff. And then it goes to that. But that's a later one. All my life. Foo Fighters. Yes, 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 yes. That is correct. Number 8. And I'm here to remind you of the mess you left when you went away. I don't even have to do that in tune. If you don't know those fucking lyrics, honestly, that is... Nobody should get that wrong. So what have you got? Lionel. No. No Lionel. Oh. Oh. Phil gets this. Although you got the name of Alanis Morissette, Jagged Little Pill is the album, not the song. And the song is You Ought to Know. So much Jerry curl. Right, this one, this next one, I don't know why it's in rock, but it is. And to be honest, I wouldn't have got it. So, if you get it, kudos to you. Take this pink ribbon off my eyes. I'm exposed, and it's no big surprise. Although saying that, I might have got it, but it would have been like, oh, I knew it. That sort of thing. Pardon me. Take this pink ribbon off my eyes. I'm exposed and it's no big surprise. Any takers? Any takers? And that was my best attempt at trying to emulate that person. That song. Joe, no doubt. Oh my God, he just knew that. I'm impressed that you knew Just a Girl by No Doubt. It's the edge of the world and all the Western civilization. That's all you're getting. It's the edge of the world and all the Western civilizations. The sun may rise in the east, at least it settles in a final or western location. That was a brilliant. Oh no, Phil, no. The REM, no. It's the edge of the world and all the Western civilizations. Edvin sweeps in with Red Hot Chili Peppers and he's in the right direction. Californication, Red Hot Chili Peppers. Californication. Well, I'm going. Oh, yeah. Phil is also an old. That's a bit, bit rude. Do we want more, or are you happy with that amount? We can do more, or do you want to do other stuff? Like quiz night. It's like a fucking pub quiz. Ooh, this. Ooh. Okay, well, this is interesting. So this next one I found, it's across all genres. So it's close to midnight. Something evil's lurking in the dark. Oh, for fuck's sake. Phil, you are on fire. It is Michael Jackson's Thriller. Not doing that one because, yeah. This is an easy one. The prison band was there and they began to wail. I'm surprised there's been no answers so far. Makes me feel that your Google foo is not working. All right, you got it. I'm not doing that one because that's One Direction. I don't do One Direction. All right, I'm only going to do half of this one because you should get it from this first sentence. With the lights out, it's less dangerous. Too proud to Google. Smells like Teen Spirit Nirvana. That is the one. Well done. Next, here we are now. Exactly. I'm right. I'm a couple of them like bit shit. This one I'm doing because I like the song. But I never saw a good side of the city till I hitched a ride on a riverboat queen. But I never saw the good side of the city till I hitched a ride on a riverboat queen. furious tapping going on there, where people are actually like trying to research and like, what the hell is he talking about? What is this? What is this strange lyric he's just thrown at us? No worries, Mac. She has that effect on people. But yeah, thanks for hanging out, dude. It's lovely for you to have been here along with us. And let's see. There you go. He was on point. He delivered the goods when needed. Thank you very much, Ericundus. No. Oh, yeah, see you on Saturday, dude. Thank you very much for hanging out, as I said. Creedence Clearwater Revival. Okay, well, it is Proud Mary, but it's Tina Turner's version I was after. It's much better. Rolling. The rest of that first is shit. Shit songs. That's pretty crap as well. No. 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 Fuck you, Justin Bieber. Oh, Ed Sheeran, no. I'm going through all these different. No. I'm sorry, but these other ones just aren't to the standard I expect. Oh, actually, these ones might not be bad. Oh no, not that one. Okay, we'll do these ones. I didn't say I was a fan. I said I liked the song and I like the energy. That if you watch Tina Turner back when she was with Ike, and they do that song, Proud Mary, it's the one where they start off really slow, and then suddenly it just goes fucking from slow to 11 sort of thing. And the next part, it's fucking awesome. It's all about the performance. Creedence Clearwater Revival, as good as some of their songs are, is not Tina Turner at her fucking prime. With like no, that one's no. No, no. You know the rules, and so do I. Rick rolling on the river. Rolling, rolling, rolling on a river. Rick rolling. You know who that was. Edvin. You're on there. You know who it was. So yeah, you can have that just by Rick rolling because it is a thing. Right, not doing Backstreet Boys. They can fuck off. Right. Everybody knows it. Much like this next one. It's going to take a lot to drag me away from you. He's done it again. I sang this dude. I'm a woman's man, no time to talk. So did your neighbours. This boy is unstoppable. Well, it's an easy one to get, to be fair. Okay. Sometimes I feel I got to go. I've got to. Sometimes I feel I got to run away. I've got to get away. What have you got? I'm still proud of my phone's autocorrect snapping the stars instead of actually. Nice one. Satisfaction. No. It's worth the entrance fee alone doing that. Anyone? Anyone? Have you got that one? Would you like me to not sing it, but do it in tune? Tainted Love Soft Cell, don't need to. Well, this is a bit creepy. Watch you smile while you're sleeping, while you're far away and dreaming. Being 50 helps. It's always good. Watch you smile while you are sleeping, while you're far away and dreaming. If it helps, the song was in the film Armageddon. It was the love song one. Between Ben Affleck and Liv Tyler's characters. That's all you need. I'm giving that one away. And that's not even the Chili Peppers. Give it away, give it away, give it away now. Miss a thing. Yes. But I don't want to miss a thing. It's not Armageddon's song. Nice one, Edwin. Nice try. It's not quite. Big Mouth Dude. Steve Tyler, yeah. He does have a large mush, as it's said. I Don't Want to Miss a Thing by Aerosmith. When the Sun Shines, We'll Shine Together. No clues. Just to throw you off a little bit. Hey, Adam. Oh. Yeah, that's he just swoops in here with the engine feel with Umbrella by Rihanna and Rihanna Umbrella. So yeah, Umbrella Rihanna. That'll do. That's cool. Well done. No, I'm not doing that one. That's shit. Yeah, there was so much rubbish in that little round. No. She packed my bags last night pre-flight, 0 hour, 9 a.m. And this isn't the William Shatner version. She packed my bags last night, pre-flight, 0 hour, 9 a.m. No night, Phil. He said, "Good night, all," and then he just comes in and says, "No, that's it. I'm going to give the fucking answer." There he goes. It's all done. He's done the answer. It's brilliant. It's phenomenal. Life is a mystery. Everyone must stand alone. Latest fellow Pito. So it's for everyone who's just wandered in here. I am probably on the drunker side of things. This has been a celebration of sorts in memorial to my friend Chris Booth, who painted Iracundus for us. Incidentally, Adam Blight, sorry, Adam gets that right. It was Like a Prayer, Madonna, who did that one. Phil just texted me, heard before I closed the stream. He would have gone in for that one. Next one, she was more like a beauty queen from a movie scene. Although I wasn't trying to say it, it just rolls off that way. So, do you have anything for that one? No, obviously. This is a doozy of a pickle, a dilly of a pickle. I'll try my best to replicate the original. She was more like a beauty queen from a movie scene. I can't do impressions. No, I can't do that impression or that person. It's not my material. I don't do that sort of thing. And if you couldn't get it from that, then we're all dead. We're all dead. We're all going to be chopped up for deliver and delivered to someone else somewhere at some point. Adam with Billie Jean, nice, yes, excellent. We've got two more of this, and I'll stop abusing your earlobes. So we've got. I'm through with standing in lines to clubs I'll never get in. It's like the bottom of the ninth, and I'm never going to win. An unpopular band in some respects, but safe songs that you can enjoy. I am pleased to announce that the many beers that have been drunk and the whiskey that has followed has been the most enjoyable. Whiskey water even tastes nice. I'm through with standing in lines at clubs I'll never get in. It's the bottom of the ninth and I'm never gonna win. Oh dear. As you can see, I'm just here existing and just doing random stuff now. It was never going to be an interesting hangout tonight because it was, as I said, a celebration of a man who died many years ago now. An awesome dude. But doing a quiz has really opened my eyes to things. As no one's willing to admit they know what that one is, that one was Rockstar by Nickelback. I can't believe nobody admitted to knowing Nickelback. Right, this will be the final. I promise this will be the final one of the evening. Well, she was just 17. You know what I mean. And that is the last one of the evening. Beatles, Beatles, Buzz, Buzz. That is correct. There were Beatles. Saw her standing there. Adam wins. Adam wins. Flawless victory. So yeah, that was a crazy idea to do some sort of lyrics. We started out about 40 minutes ago. We went through several different types of stuff, um, of tunes, of lyrics, and everything else for that matter. But I still can't believe he just put in fucking like Phil just whips in there. Yeah, it's Madonna like a prayer. Oh bless him. Yeah. All right. I think there's nothing really I can do at the moment because I'm not really with it. But um, thank you for joining this evening. It's been interesting. Um, with doing this is the first quiz we've ever done on the live stream, so thank you for participating in that. Um, and it has been a lovely time to sort of, for me, in particular, because obviously in celebration of Chris Booth, who is responsible for that dude, Iracundus. Now, for those that are getting books this weekend or audio books, such as actually let's just put this back where it should be. So let's put it in zero. There you go. Right. So this weekend we have last week's pre-orders of release for the Black Library, which was the Echoes, Siege of Terror, Echoes of Eternity. Iracundus is in Echoes of Eternity. I don't know how, shape, or form, but Iracundus is in there. So it's not a spoiler; it's just a Titan. So yes, Iracundus makes his Siege of Terror debut in this book. Who knows what happens? I don't. I have no idea what happens. But it's again, it's remarkable through the years that Iracundus has been around. from that first time he visited the Horus Heresy Weekend in 2015 and became a bit of a celebrity there, all because of a sound box and the awesome paint scheme that Chris Booth did for him. And since that time, he's become known as like the Disco Reaver, which I think is also a terminology for anyone who has a Reaver with lots of laser weapons on. But he was the original Disco Reaver, which was basically because he plays music as well as sounds of war horns and lasers and cannons and missiles and all that jazz in between. So since 2015, he's become canon with the Adeptus Titanicus Engines of Legend, and which was just amazing honor, and it was an epic tribute as well. I've always thought that it was a bit of a tribute, because obviously I just bought the thing and built it, and Chris really made him look as awesome as he looks. And all I did was stick a sound box in it to make him a little bit different from everything else. But from 7 years ago, he's fought in many battles. He's been laid low several times in battle, but he's always come back, and he's always brought his guns to bear against the traitor forces. And now he's in a book. So yeah. So thank you to Chris for helping keep my sanity and taking him off my hands to make him the Titan he is today. And thank you for the guys and girls at Forge World and Specialist Games, that and Andy Hoare, for making Iracundus a character within the game, and to Aaron Dempsey Bowden for putting him in his book. I've been very lucky in my hobby life in that respect. I've been very lucky in my hobby life to have made friends such as you all, that bother to turn up here on a Wednesday and a Saturday night to join me when I'm more coherent and more sober. But I think if you go out into the world of hobby and just be a decent person, friendly, helpful, and just, try and have as much fun as you can without being a dick in general, then things like this can happen to anyone, So, as I said, I feel very lucky, honoured, blessed to have made friends across all walks of life within the hobby in the years that I've been here. Obviously more so in the last sort of 10 to 15 years with the internet and everything. But it really is, it's just an amazing thing to have a model that has, taken on a life of its own in some respects. So for now, I shall bid you adieu, au revoir, Auf Wiedersehen. Tatty bye. Thank you all for joining me this evening. It was a very special evening for me, and I appreciate everyone who has turned up and shared some time with their hobby and answered some weird music questions. But thanks to Chris Booth for being such an awesome person in the first place, and helping me realise a dream of Iracundus, and just being a nice guy in general, because it does make a difference to other people around you just by being a decent, friendly person. And to stop me from blabbering on about random stuff, because that's as far as I'm getting now. I wish you all the best in your lives, your hobby, your friendships, and everything. And know that I truly and honestly, I love you all, that you're out there, wherever you may be, hiding and doing your hobby. And so does Iracundus. Night night everyone, sweet dreams, and until Saturday 8 PM, take care of yourself and happy hobbying.